Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Uh, in this tutorial, I would be going through the principal component analysis and its application in data sciences. So, principal component analysis is used widely in data sciences to reduce the dimensionality of our feature space, which is known as when we want to reduce the number of variables in our data. So we apply principal component analysis. It is a technique used widely because when in real world we have hundreds of variables, so we need to get the relevant information in least number of columns. So we need just to avoid the problem of dimensionality in which is known as the curse of dimensionality in data sciences. So to start with, I am loading some the libraries which have been I'm loading from the start of the course, as we have seen. And this is also the new library is the new package. The new thing for you is the PCA part over here and the standard scalar. So to start with, I'm loading the iris data from the scikit-learn library, and then I'm using the iris data to in my data frame and feature names as my column names from the iris. So I'm using the target variables as our target column, and here we get our data frame. Okay, so as we can see that we have 150 by 5 columns, so we have 150 rows and 5 columns in our data, and all the columns, all the target variables have been spread equally, which means that the Setosa, which is 0, versicolor, which is 1 over here, and virginica, which is 2 in our target column, has been spreaded evenly in our data. So these are the descriptions of the 3 different flowers we would be exploring in our tutorial, and then we would be applying principal component analysis on it. So just to start with, I will be plotting some of the distributions, as this is known as the box plot distribution, to get an idea about how the distribution of the plants we are studying lies. So as you can see that at most the Setosa, the virginica, which is the 2, has the median distribution is well above the others except for the sepal width. So these 4 are the descriptions, and these 3 are the target variables we would be trying to predict. But in this tutorial, we won't be predicting anything because a principal component analysis is an unsupervised learning. So we throw the data and we don't expect anything to return. What we just want to get is the analysis is just insight of our problem, that what we are trying to analyze. In this case, we are trying to analyze the descriptives, the columns of the flowers. Okay, so again, this is another pair plot. I've made the distribution plot of the different features with respect to their target variables. And I've used the library as a Seaborn library. And as you can see that we get very nice plots from it. And we can see that most of the distributions of Setosa is rightly skewed, and the other 2 are normally distributed, or you can say that they are also rightly distributed. But the sepal width column is almost the same for all of our data. So this is the comment on the plots, and most of the features are positively correlated. Uh, so most of the features in our data are positively correlated. So the first step to apply the PCA is to standardize our data. So I would be first standardizing my data using the standard scalar from the scikit-learn library. And the standard scalar means that I would be using mean 0 and variance 1. So here I have made a list of all the features in my data frame, in my data columns. As you can see that these are the features I would be using, and this is our target variable. But we won't be using target variable because we don't have to predict anything in principal component analysis. We just want to reduce our independent features. We want to reduce our independent columns. So over here I have separated the data in X which are all the feature names, and y is a target variable. We won't be using y anymore from here. We would be just using x, which is our independent column. Okay. Then I made the data frame. After doing the scaling, I have transformed, I have fitted, and I've transformed the all of the 4 features into mean 0 and variance 1. So all of the data would have the range between -1 to 1. And as you can see that these 4 are our data has been scaled down. Now I would be the step 2 for PCA is to apply the PCA projection, and I would be using the 2D just to make you understand about how the principal component actually works. So we won't be going into higher dimensions like n components equals to 4, because it won't be you won't be able to visualize, and you won't be able to get an idea of what is going on. So first I am using the scikit-learn library over here, as I have loaded the library from the sklearn decomposition, and I am using the PCA. And as you can see that I have defined the n components equals to 2. So I have created an instance of the PCA model, or you can say the PCA technique, or the PCA model, as you want to say. So now I would be fitting my data and transforming onto on our data. So I'm passing this x. So this x are all of our reduced of our standard scaled data, and I am passing it to on the PCA. And then I'm making a data frame of all the principal components. And the principal components, as you can see that we have got 2 principal components over here, because we asked the PCA to just to give return us the 2 principal components to us. So as you can see that from 4 features, we had 4 features: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. We got down to only 2 variables. We won't be saying them as variables, but we will be calling them as principal components. Now the mathematical theory about how it is done, because on Python we are just implementing a single command, and everything what is happening behind the scenes is that we are computing the eigenvalues and the eigenvectors, and then there's a process of singular value decomposition, which have Miss Ramin has covered in the class, or she would be covering in the class. So I would be just telling you how to implement it, but behind what is going on, you should be knowing, because in your exams you would be trying to you would be trying to implement, or you would be trying to solve the PCA problem on a paper. So you should know how it is done mathematically. Next, as you can see that we have 2 principal components, so our features are reduced. So from 4 variables, we have reduced to 2 principal components. And just to visualize the data, I am passing the scatter plot, and I've just made the scatter plot to get going that what our principal components look like. So as you can see that principal component 1 is distributed. We have a large gap between because most of the principal components are below 0, which are negatives, and then we have around 0 or 1. So this is a cluster of points, as we can see. But principal component 2, as we can see that this is widely spread, this is evenly spread, this is normally spread, unlike the we cannot see any pattern in the component 2. So next step is to get the covariance, and the covariance matrix tells us that what are the principal components it has calculated for it tells us the covariances of all our 4 variables. So it is calculated for the covariance of our 4 variables, and this is stored in pca.get covariance. So when we use the PCA library, so we get the .get covariance as an attribute, so we can use it to get an idea about the principal about how our the covariance matrix looks like. So this is known as covariance matrix. Okay. And then I would be now this is an important point, because at this point I want to see that how much variance is explained by each component. So I hope Ms. Ramin has also explained that what is the meaning of variation. The meaning of variation in our data is the statistical significance of our data. So if I try to say that 80% of variation is stored in principal component 1, so this means that the 80% of our significance, or 80% of variation, or 80% of power of our data is stored in principal component 1. So what principal component does is that it captures the highest power from the highest power of the data is stored in principal component 1, and then it is stored in principal component 2, and then it is stored in 3 and 4. So in our data, we would be only going to 4 principal components. So max would be 4 over here. So, but I'm just using n is equals to 2, as you can see. And then I have been, so what does the PCA dot explain variance ratio means? So explained variance ratio means that, as you can see, that it is returning me variance. So this means that I am getting a around 73% of information from our principal component 1. So this component is giving me uh, around 73% of information of all of our data. So now there are no 4 columns. All of our data has been projected into components, and principal component 1 is giving me 73% of information of our data, or you can see the variance of our data is explained by the PCA1, principal component 1, and 22 around 22-23% variance is explained by principal component 2. So this component, as you can see over here, is explaining around 23% of our variance in our data. And when we try to plot, so I've made a decent plot over here with just to with some plotting techniques I've used, and I'm just labeling all of the data. As you can see that on x-axis there are principal components, and on y-axis we have explained variance ratio. So principal, as I also said that most of the data of our principal component was some of the data was below 0. So we could see over here that the width of this bar graph, or this bar graph is spread around 0.4 to minus 0.4, as you can see. But the important thing is that this is explaining around 73%, and this is around explaining 0.23%. So this is again a visual representation of what we got over here. Okay, so now the interpretation part. The interpretation part, as I have also explained, that now the principal component explains the principal component 1 explains around 73%, and the principal component 2 around explains 23%, and this around add up to 96%. So now we should be very this techniques, the PCA techniques now has reduced our data to 2 components only, to 2 features only, as we would say, but it has maintained the 96% power of our data. The 96% variation of our data is maintained by the PCA. So when we are implementing this algorithm, this technique in large data sets, so this is a huge benefit, because our feature space is reduced, our number of columns are reduced, but most of the data has been preserved, most of the data has been utilized. And again, the choosing of the components, that how did I choose the 2 components? So I choose the 2 components firstly to let you visualize, and secondly, most of the researchers, most of the scientists, most of the in machine learning and data science, they define the threshold, that at which percentage we want our data to capture the variances. So if I have defined my variation for 95% threshold, then n is equals to 2 would have been perfect, because n is equals to 2, we are getting around 96% of our variation in our data. So and if we want to get more variation, so we would be needing to go to n is equals to 3 and n is equals to 4. So nothing would be changed, just you would be going to uh, uh, get the idea from n is equals to 3, and then you would be getting more variation of our data. but the less the components, the better it is, the more the variation we have captured in less features. This is the goal of the principal component, that we want to reduce the dimension of our data, maintaining the statistical significance of our data. So this is the tutorial, and the lastly I have just the tutorial officially ends here, but just to get you an idea about the on the three components part, that how would be implementing on the three components part. So this is, I have done some coding to let you to get you going, that now this time I'm using PCA, and this time I'm using and components is equals to 3, and I'm using the same technique, and I'm just transforming my data onto IRES data set over here. And this is all of the same thing, but just I am doing some coding to on the three-dimensional space. As now you can see that it is very nicely plotting us. As we can see, the setosa over here is represented all the dark green colors. So what does this mean? That this means that in three principal components. So this is our first principal component. This line, as you can see, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and this is the z-axis over here. So three principal components we have, and we have all of our data, all of our features represented in this three-dimensional space. So we can see setosa over here, and then versicolor. We can see that some of the versicolor has light colors. I have used different colors just to, and I've plotted on the data. And virginica, as you can see, are different dimensions. So just to get you analyze that, we can plot n number of components. How many number of components we want, we can use it. But as I have defined that there must be a threshold, most of the researchers use 95%, because when we are trying to when we get 95% of variation of our data, so this means that almost 100% of the data has been captured. So most of the researchers use 90%, 95%. So this is the threshold, and which was captured in our data for n is equals to 2. So again, you would be needing, I would recommend that you would implement PCA on your reports, on your final projects, so that you get good marks also, and you get an idea about how we reduce the real world problems into principal components, and we try to solve it. Now this is our reduced data. Now we don't have to go to our previous data. Now we would be doing any predictive analytics if you want to apply any algorithm. For example, if I want to apply k-means, if I want to apply decision trees, if I want to apply naive Bayes algorithm, so I would be using only these two components. So I would be only using these two components, and then I would be getting the results. So the results which we would get from principal components would be almost as same as the results we would get from the whole performing the whole algorithm on a whole data set. So this is a powerful technique. This is a powerful technique used in data sciences about the principal components. And I think there's someone. So Fahim, if you have any question, you can ask. Okay, so I think there are no questions. So I end the tutorial. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, so on chat. Okay, it's clear. Same says thank you. Okay, thank you, Fahim. So I end my tutorial over here, and I think this would be our last tutorial because this would be the last topic, and I don't think Miss would be going any further. So PCA would be the last topic for our course. So thank you very much, and it was a great journey with you guys, exploring different types of different data sciences techniques, and ending over here. So thank you very much.